for next we're gonna go over parameters, right? Like how to customize your URL for, like how do you have one URL for many URLs? So we'll do this now. So o4.js, we'll do params.
Can you use like the last?
Oh, the last code? Yeah, sure.
It's not clean, but it works.
And not expecting to be clean. I'm expecting it to look like something that works. That's good. That's good. Okay. So I'm gonna make a new folder. I'm gonna copy the previous app right here. I'm gonna call this O4 params example. Oh, it's not. Cool. All right, so I just copied the previous folder. We're gonna go over parameters. So let me delete this file right here. I'm gonna keep the connection to vacuums. And over here, I'm gonna make a route. Oh, what's up?
So, you know how I was having that issue where it was loading aside from that app. So after I put the app in that different folder, I'm still having like a different issue. Then, so I'm assuming you have to actually put the databases into the workbench.
Yeah, you're gonna have to run the database.
Before it actually does.
Yeah, absolutely, because otherwise the database won't exist and stuff. Yeah. And Justin, remember, ma'am. Yeah. And then workbench too, might as well. Yeah. Cool. All right. So now what I'm going to do is let's make a page for each vacuum cleaner, right? A page for every vacuum cleaner. Imagine every vacuum cleaner. This is what we'll build. We'll build a vacuum cleaner site, right? So every vacuum cleaner will have its own page. So what I'm going to do over here, I'm going to do // ID. I'll call it vacuum ID. That's fine. I can call it whatever I want, but vacuum ID. Now, if I want to get this part of the URL, right, I'm going to just do res.json ID. If I want to get this right here, what do I type? Saeed? Rec.what? Params, good.
Params, yeah.
Dot what? Excellent. Good. So now I'm going to go to this URL right here. I go to this URL. And how did I do this wrong? Line 29, line 29. Well, I had a comment here. Okay, I guess it didn't save properly, but we'll go to the URL. Now, did it print out the vacuum ID? What did it print out? All right, so right here. So take a look right here at the picture. I went to this URL, and then this is what rec.params.vacuum ID equals. So I put :vacuum _ ID. That's the value. That's the value of rec.params.vacuum ID. So now if I go to /1, right? So I slash vacuum slash 1, the value rect.params.id is 1 right here. Okay, so now I can use this value. I can use this value to give me the information for that particular vacuum by customizing a MySQL query. Right, so what I can do over here, select star from vacuums, and you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to take this query, I'm going to put it into a variable called var query to make it easier to look at. I'll put the query right here. Select star from vacuums where ID equals question mark. And then I'm going to put right here or an array. I'm going to comment this part out because it's not exactly what I want. And so the query is going to be select star from vacuums where ID equals whatever value comes from the URL right here. Whatever value comes from the URL right here. So if it's, let's just say it's 1 right here, then the query is going to be, it's going to turn into this exactly. It's going to turn into this. What's this right here? This is a prepared SQL statement. So something that people do sometimes is they'll go into your forms and then they'll put SQL queries inside your form and they'll submit them, trying to see if you're directly taking the input and running it right on the database. Because if you are, then maybe they can guess your column names and get back user data, right? You can get back user information. And for certain passwords like Facebook, people use the Facebook password for everything, right? Yeah. I know because I did a while ago. I used to use the same password for like everything. And then I noticed that like my credit card got stolen, like all this stuff happened. So then I use unique passwords for everything now. Like every account has a unique password because also you don't know if they're encrypting the password and saving their database, right? They could just look at your password, right? If they're not encrypting it, they just have your password right there. So you should never use the same password for everything. It's very dangerous, right? Now that you know, right?
How do you keep track of all your unique and strong passwords?
One password. I think 1Pass or something is good. LastPass or 1Pass. 1Pass has actually a browser app on the phone where it stores your passwords and stuff in the app itself. And then you could scroll through websites and use the passwords anywhere mobilely. And then on here, then you have your Chrome extension or whatever. Yeah, so that's one way of doing it. And I guess you have to trust 1Pass, right? Right? You have to trust that one service right there. I don't use them now. I have my own thing. But right here, we're going to do, instead of res.render, right, I'll just comment this stuff out. I'll do res.json results. And we'll just take a look at what happens in the browser now. So now we get back an array of the first object. But if I want to get it's an array of the first object, so I could do, if I want to just get back that one object, what would I put here, Justin?
The first one?
Yeah.
0.
Good. So we'll just go back to this. So before we had square brackets because it was an entire array, and now we're just getting back the first one. Why do we only care about the first one? Well, we did select star from vacuums where ID equals 1, right? So we obviously just want the first one right here. Okay, so that was that right there. And this just shows the vacuum on the page, right, with the JSON. We could have another one where we send We can have a custom page for each vacuum, right? So we can make a vacuum page. So I'll go into my pages folder and make a vacuum.ejs file. And it should just be the column names. It should just be the column names because I'm sending back an object, right, with those key names. So if I go back over here to app.js, see I'm sending back results bracket 0. That's the object that we saw, right? So if we go back over here, right, we have this object. So each key is going to be available inside my EJS file as we saw before. So I could just print them out. So now let's go to this page. And it is wrong. What did I do wrong? ID is not defined. Wrong. Why? 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 Oh, it's inside this key called vacuums. So I'm going to say vacuum because I don't want to do plural. 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 It's funny, when I say words wrong, no one corrects me, and then I just continue to say them wrong for the rest of my life. So there are a lot of words I just say wrong, but no one ever corrects me. Until like one day, 20 years later, someone's like, you're saying that wrong. And then I can't say it right because I've been saying it wrong my entire life. There we go. But we have ID, name, price, rating, right? And so let's go over this a little bit more. We're going to a URL /vacuum/something, right? Whatever they put here, whatever they put in the URL here is going to go into this variable, this parameter called vacuum ID. It's available inside the request. So if I do request.params.vacuum ID, that's how I get whatever they typed in here. Right, whatever they typed in here in the URL, I get back right here. Yeah, from the request, because that's the user's making this request, right? It's making this request, and then the response is going to be this. This is the response right here that we're going to give it, right? I mean, this could be the response that we give it also, but I commented it out. But this is the response right now. So what's going to happen, right? I'm going to make that query, select star from vacuums where ID equals 1 if 1 is what they put in here, right? 1 is what they put in here. And the reason why I'm doing this question mark and this is to avoid SQL injection, right? So in case they do put SQL in, it's going to escape all of everything they did right, and it's not going to run it right on the database. It's going to put quotes around everything. It's going to put quotes around everything they write and put in. Once this query is executed, it's going to run this function right here, and then we're going to take the results, and we're going to put that into this object, right? Why are we putting this into an object? Because with EJS, the second parameter has to be an object if you're passing in data. It has to be an object. Whereas results is what data type? It's a data structure. It's an array. It's an array, right? This is an object. This is an object, but this is an array default. So we have to pass in an object right here. So that's why I did this. You could alternatively just pass in results bracket 0. You could do that here also. And then I would be able to do ID, name, price, rating. All right, so if I did, give me 1 sec, William. So hold your thought for 1 second. I'm just going to delete these things, show them. See, it still works. If I do 2 now, the reason why ID, name, price, rating are keys inside of this object right here. so I can just call them directly, right? I'm not going to do that because I'm gonna just always put everything in an object just so for consistency's sake. William, what's up? William?
Yeah. So it'll be the same where you go take up a directory and then it'll take, from, in this case, I will think it's, sorry, man, I kind of lost my thought.
But you said directory, we're doing a route.
The route, I'm sorry, yeah.
We're not doing any directories so far. When we render, we're going into the views folder, into the pages folder, into the vacuum.ejs file. We're taking that ES file, mixing it with the object O, and then giving that as a response right here.
Okay. Right on, man. Thank you.
So now, takes in a URL like this. Cost. If the cost param is equal to cheap, then sort lowest to highest and send those back. If the cost param is equal to expensive, then sort highest to lowest and send those back. Right? And when I say send those back right here, you can basically, all you have to do is, it's going to be very, you can almost copy and paste this. You can copy and paste this. What you're going to have to do is change up this query right here. Right? It's going to be the same thing as this. Right? You're not going to change anything with this. You're not going to change anything with this. You're going to change this line right here. You're going to change this line right here. You're going to change this line right here. Maybe you have an if statement, right? Maybe you have an if statement before here, right? It's going to be very similar to this for this activity. So this is what you're doing. And let me send you guys this. And Justin, give me a thumbs. Justin Fernando, give me a thumbs up when you have it ready, set up. And I'll put the timer on. Good. That was a little too fast. I don't believe it. Fernando, give me a thumbs up when you got it. You can work together with people. It's completely fine. But just make sure you understand it. Okay, you got it? Excellent. All right, so we'll do 1 p.m. and we'll go over it after that. Around 1 p.m. We'll go over it then. You can work in groups.
tried running it. I get this.
Same thing.
Yeah. It's not like I moved before. This part is still big.
Like the one
I just did that.
You want to go to that world?
Yeah, come back.
I was like, believe it here for a second. I was like, what's kid doing here? I was like, oh man, he's
Sorry.
I'm just so excited to leave.
Yeah, that's all. I'm not tripping, brother. It's not working for me. You like some spirit figure shit, man?
more time than 6 minutes? 10 minutes?
Yeah. Well, it's funny because the one that you did fixed mine, but not yours.
I don't understand what it is.
Well, because I have my I have it running on the same port. This is a yours and mine.
That's what it's yours. Oh, yeah, that is yours, you're right.
Yeah.
But I mean, if you're using the same database, I'm using the same database as you probably. Yeah. Yeah, I'm using the same database as you. So
Gotcha. Because it'd be the database on my computer, right?
Exactly.
As opposed to, okay. Thank you.
Is it cheating if we just change the price column to an integer?
Oh, that's pretty funny. It's not, but what you can do is you can typecast it. You can look up like how to typecast a column. I'll do that live. I don't know how to do it off the top of my head.
I was gonna say, how would you do that?
You could change it to an integer. That's fine too.
Look at me. Oh wait, no, change password. No, I did. Oh wait, that's right. It's hard. Yeah. My server. This is password.
Yeah, sure, totally.
I'm not sure if that's this one. No, because we already have it's not really doing
And this has the same.
because you're getting all the results.
Yeah, the constant, I mean, it has that work bench, but it is your bench. It's making me
I'm sorry.
so maybe you don't have a password.
But your key is different. But your key is different.
I typed too much. I killed it, sorry. I just put my memory.
Kill it. Well, it's touch screen too, that's good. Isn't it weird?
I don't know. You open circle yet?
Do you have that? Oh no, we don't have any. I have to initialize your ad. How many? Each screen.
Okay.
16700.
The local ones?
And maybe, yeah. But the same thing.
That's cool.
Try random things. That's it's like I feel like that's like a big just like try random things and see if it works. And then think sometimes.
Sometimes.
Yeah. The more can you try random shit until something works.
Shit. Oh my god. Like the first to find the port.
Hey guys, I'm gonna give you another 5 minutes. So just try to work on it. Yeah.
Yeah, thanks on the 5 minutes, man. I'm still trying. I'm working.
All good.
Oh yeah. That's why it's on. It's why it's on. Because it's not looking. That's what I. Yeah. Like that. Which one? Which one? I don't know. You're going to.
All right, guys. See if Justin can make it back. Okay, we'll go over. All right, so I'm going to copy this one. I said I would. And it's going to take in colon cost. So what should I put over here, Fernando? Yep, colon cost. And then over here, I'm going to take this query out so it'll be easier to look at. There we go. And over here, where, not where, order, thank you, go ahead. Order by ascending or descending, right? And I guess put that a question mark, maybe. I guess you could do ascending, order by ascending. No, you're absolutely right. So let's do the conditions. Query equals. Good. If, go ahead. Rec.params.cost equals cheap. Else descending, right? Because ascending is lowest to highest, and we need to order by a certain column. So what column are we going to order by? Cost, price. There we go. And let's see if this works. So we're going to go to this right here. I delete the no modules. There we go. Localhost 3000 / vacuums / sheep. Interesting. Again, error. Property ID of undefined. Why is that happening on? Property undefined. So it's actually not happening here. Where's the error happening? It's happening right here. So this route comes before route. So when we do vacuums / sheep, it hits this route. Sheep goes into vacuum ID, and it looks for this right here. So what we could do over here is we could say vacuums / sort / cost, give it a URL. And then over here, we could do / sort. There we go. And these are cheap. That's not cheap. That's expensive to low. And as Haven mentioned, right? How do we do that? So here I have to typecast the price to an integer. So cast a column to integer to decimal. It's equal. That's what I would Google. Is that what? Now let's find out if this works. Price. I don't want to buy it by 1.5 for no reason. Okay, so let's see if this works right here. Probably won't. Yep. Price is a string. Yeah, so, I'm trying to like cast it to be a decimal. So order by a column that is a string. Return want to treat it like a number, mysql. Ah, perfect. Order a string column as an integer. Cast as unsigned. Okay. price. We'll just do this for now. Just for now. Oh yeah, descending. Maybe we'll put it right here. See if this works. Good. And then we'll do expensive. Great. So looks like I have to do this. Price is unsigned. Yeah, you're fine. Yeah, you decimal though. You don't want to do float. You want to do decimal always for or anything that matters. Because floating points don't add or subtract properly or multiply sometimes. Questions on this? We had to look up something here, but that wasn't too bad. All right, so now we'll do another one over here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go over query parameters. So app.get. We'll just do sort, right? And or filter. Actually, I'm going to just do sample query example right here. So function res, just like before. We're going to go over query parameters. Res.json rec.query. So I'm going to send back rec.query when you go to query example. So I'll go to that right now. There's nothing inside query example. So let me send this out. But if I put a question mark, move equals Fernando, the return. All right. So. William likes it. All right. So.
I love it, man.
Saeed and Justin again. Right, and this time I'll put an ampersand in. We'll put a year of 2017. So let's take a look at these two. Right, so we have a question mark, and we can put query parameters in. We put the name of the query parameter, and we set it equal to the value right here. And then for this one, it's the same thing. We have question mark, the name of the parameter equals the value. We had spaces, we had plus signs, and then we had a second one to separate that one with the ampersand, right? The first one is designated by the question, and the second one following on our ampersands. We'll do one more. And plot equals short. Right, so over here, question mark for movie, ampersand for plot. So we have three things. We can use these to do a custom MySQL query, get that data, send it back to EJS. Okay. So new activity. When a user goes to this URL, So when a user goes to this URL, localhost 3000 / query question mark equals 10, send back all the vacuums that have a rating of 10 in your database. It'll be sent to the /vacuums route. So you're going to have to grab the value right here and then send back all the vacuums that have that specific rating. Right, that's what you're doing right now. I'm going to just slack this out. Just activity. And to be able to get rating, you're going to do rec.query.what? Rec.query.rating. Good. That's going to get you the rating out of the URL. This is what we're going to do. And we'll do 15. 148. Same thing as before, same file as before. What's up, man?
You're ever not off like not while you're typing your code. Did you realize you have like extra keys in random places?
Yeah.
You're like,
yeah, because your fingers are off place, and you just typed like a bunch, and then you're like, what did I type? This one time, my finger out of place, and I was typing, and then it typed a message on the board that I didn't mean to type at all. It was crazy.
No, I don't think so. You're not supposed to buy anything. So it should be question. There's three things that I think change it to
4 more minutes, and then we'll go over it, and then I'll do a form example, inserting that into MySQL, inserting some data into MySQL, and then that'll be it. Do you guys know Fernando, do you know about the arcade on 4th and Folsom? 4th and 3rd. It's there's Emporium. There's another one. It's kind of old, but the last Sunday of every month, it's free play.
What?
It's completely free play.
Last Sunday of every month.
Every month, yeah. So we should do something. Because have you played Killer Queen?
Dude, I'd be down.
Have you guys played Queen? It's the most fun game ever. I'm gonna Killer Queen. It's so good. It's almost as good as the song. Yeah, it's an 8-player game. Check it out. 8-player game. No, 10-player game.
Oh damn! So you like get like a roundabout.
Yeah, dude, you are. Let's see here if I can do this one. So you control like a little guy, and you're just like trying to kill the other person, and one person like controls the queen. The queen has 3 lives, and you can kill the other person's queen, or you can collect the balls and then fill up your hive. Right? If you fill up your hive, then you win. If you kill the queen 3 times, then you win. Or if you ride a snail at the bottom of the screen to the other side in the goalpost, you win.
Oh wow.
Yeah, dude, it's a lot of fun, and it's kind of cool because you're in person with people. And what's nuts is like sometimes, like, it's like the strategies change because sometimes you have a strategy team, and then like you just change strategies really quickly. It's fun.
Oh, so it's 4v4.
You can do 4. You can do 1 versus 1. It just wouldn't be as fun.
Big chaos, right?
Yeah, it's great. Oh, they're coming out on what's that window thing? Switch. It's coming out on Switch.
What?
Yeah,
I gotta switch.
and it's coming out on Switch. It's coming on Steam. They're coming out with this thing called Killer Queen Black. There's one black team, entire world, right? And then if you beat the black team, if you see the black team, then it's rare. But if you see the black team and you beat the black team, then you become the black team. It's pretty cool, right?
What?
It's pretty cool, right?
It's like the legendary.
All the black people that stop playing.
That's not good. Yeah, I wonder if they.
The game just crumbles.
I wonder if they like thought about that.
You probably have like a timeout thing, like if you're not like
Yeah.
you're idle for so long.
It's kind of nuts. Imagine you become the black team. You're just so good, but you have to keep playing it forever. You're like, I can't lose this status now. Because this is the only thing I've got.
After like 5 years, you finally move to somebody and like, God.
Yeah, you're like, thank God. I can go outside now.
I like that Highland. This was every last Sunday.
Yeah, every day of the month.
What's the place? You don't remember the name of the place?
Coin Op on 4th Street. Organize something for
Point up.
Coin Op.
Point up.
Mhm.
It's Emporium out of two.
They have every last Sunday also. Every last free play.
Oh, no, I know about that. I just know what they have.
Point up.
The free play is big because I spent like $100 on that game. Yeah, because it's like $2 to play. So.
Yeah, well, only going the last Sundays for now. For that money.
All right, so let's do this one now. When the user goes to this URL, then we're going to send back all the vacuums that have a rating of 10. I said it was similar to that vacuums one. It is. But instead of vacuums, what should this URL, Justin?
Rating.
Query. This stuff's the user is gonna put. We're not gonna specify any of this stuff right here. And now we're gonna get back rec.query.rating. So I'm gonna do rec.query.rating. And over here, I'm gonna do where rating equals question mark. Where rating equals question. And then it's gonna put this into the question mark. And I'm gonna just take this out, put this into a query variable, so it'll look a little bit easier for us. Connection.query, this query right here, where this question mark is, it's going to grab from the URL. And it just stays the same, right? Because we're just going to take all the results and render them. Because there could be multiple rating 10, right? There could be multiple vacuums rating 10. So now we're going to go to the URL. And we just have a Dyson of rating 10, but it worked, right? So let's say I change the rating from 10 to 9. It just gives me the ones with 9, 8, just the ones with 8. Right, so it works. Just grabs the rating from the query parameter, right? They put in right here, and then it'll pass that into the query and run it. It'll first escape it, so just in case the person puts SQL in, and then takes the results and sends it, mixes it with the vacuums.egs and renders it. Questions on this? Justin? Question? Anything? Saeed? Good?
Instead of using prompts, you use query, right?
Yeah, instead of params, I use query here. Yeah, so you could use both. The difference is params are set in stone, right? Query is more freeform, right? So the reason why I showed you query right here is because I want to show a form. So what I'm going to do over here first is I'm going to make an insert vacuum. Right, so instead of select star, I'm going to insert into vacuums, name, price, comma, rating, right? Values, question mark, question mark, question mark. And then over here, I'm going to do rec.query.name, rec.query.price, rec.query.rating. So I'm going to insert into the vacuums table, into the name, price, rating column with values of these question marks. So rec.query.name will go into this first question mark. Rec.query.price will go into the second one. Rec.query.rating will go into the third one, right here. And then over here, I'm going to just do a redirect. res.redirect/vacuums. So I'm going to redirect them to the /vacuum. So we can test this. If I make a new URL, localhost 3000 /insert vacuum /question mark, name equals another one, Samsung. And they make everything, right? It's like phones. They're actually a humongous company. They're as big as Google. They're humongous. Samsung. Oh, that's crazy. Yeah. And their headquarters in Korea, I think it's Korea, is like they have a city. It's like their headquarters is a city. There's like people live there, like in the city. It's kind of nuts.
Where all the Google headquarters is?
Mm-hmm.
It's practically the whole city.
Yeah, you're right.
I should just change the name to Google the city.
Samsung, and then price equals $4.99, and rating equals what? 9. Cool. All right, so let's run this query right here, and it should insert and send us back to the vacuums page. Great. So send us right here. So now if I go to 9, we should see 2, right? We see 2 now on this rating one, right? Okay, so we have this, so the insert works. Now let's make a form, right? Let's make a on the vacuums page. Right, so I'll make a form right here. All right, I'm going to the insert vacuum route. I have some inputs here. I'm going to have a button called submit. Wrong. And then we're going to have some inputs. I can't. There we go. Text, name equals name. I'll put placeholder right here. And in. And over here, I'll say put a price in. Price, rating, put a rate. Right, so this is going to the insert vacuum route that we just made before, right? And it's submitting, going to do a get call. All of these will automatically be query parameters. So this is going to be question mark name, ampersand price, ampersand. It's going to automatically do that for us. And the values are going to be whatever they put into here. Let's take a look at this. All right. New vacuum. Price does correlate with rating. Cool. Right there. What's happening? Well, this is going to the insert vacuum route, right? It's submitting this data, and whatever they type into this first input, it's going to be set to the name query parameter. So it's going to be, let's say that one that we just did. So it's like we're going to it's like we're going to this URL, right? Question mark name equals Kenmore, right? Because that's what we typed in here. Ampersand price equals 95, because that's what we here, right? Price 95. Ampersand rating equals 4, because that's what we typed in here. So this is the URL that this form makes and goes to. Yeah, so params you would use if you want to make profile pages for everyone, right? And it's like a hard set URL. You can use both inside of it if it makes sense, right? You kind of just want to do whatever you're comfortable with and stay consistent with, right? It's like there's a lot of doing things. Params are generally used for like profile pages. Like if you have like a page for every single vacuum, then params, right? But then on that page, if you want to filter, let's say you have a page with like more than one vacuum, and the user can filter based on the pricing, right? In that case, maybe you use query parameters to do that, because you don't know what combination they're going to do, and you want to allow them to do anything. Maybe you don't use query parameters too much, but in this case, because we're just doing get call, they're all going to be query parameters by default. So stay consistent and you're fine. Stay consistent and then you're fine. Questions on this form right here? Questions on this right here? we will have another review session for the final project. Your final projects begin on Monday. On Tuesday. They begin. On Tuesday. Immediately. Like your ideas, I need your idea
But we
immediately.
still have the homework too.
Your homework is due on Saturday, right? Our project starts. The next few homeworks we're gonna do in class. So it's gonna be your project really.
Yeah, you get 2 seconds. I just want literally nothing to do. If I have time, I can build out, or we can just, it's like, if ideally, we had more time. So I had
No, what other site?
Hmm?
You know, like, the job for you right there. Point out their site's broken.
Oh really? job opportunity.
Yeah.
It doesn't.
Free play for life.
I was reading one of their links that says that I know there's a secret speakeasy hidden behind a busted video game.
No way.
This right here.
That's amazing.
That's pretty tight. If you're there, look for that broken video game. See if it's like a hidden entrance.
It's amazing, dude. The one thing preventing me from going to that the free play, there's this guy that would go and he's not cool.
Is it douchebag?
Yeah.
Surprise.
Why is he such a douchebag?
What's that? What's that?
Are we going to discuss new topics at the Python?
Yeah. We're gonna be doing Mongo, scraping. We're gonna go over testing. We're gonna go over React. We're gonna go over Redux. Well, the day the class ends on May 30th, but then we have a demo day on, let me see here. Alex sent it out. Where is it? Right here. So you have a demo day on June 4th. Yeah. So that's when you present a project. You don't have to present, but you're required to like make something. Right? So you have to make something, but you don't have to present. It's good. It's good to come, just see what other people have made. And because the data analytics class, they present also. So it's kind of a good time to go like, oh, what did you do? How did you do that? Because you guys would understand their code. You know, they'll probably understand some of your code, not all of it, because they go over like a framework class, right? Which is similar to Express, but they don't do much of it. They take maybe 2 weeks on it, whereas we spend like a lot of time on it. But yeah, so your projects are like, I guess, due then, if anything, your final project. But your official ideas start on Tuesday. There's no requirements. Do whatever you want.
And group assignments.
Anything you want. Whatever you want. Yeah. But you have to prove though. Same process, right? Wireframe, schema, all that stuff. You still have to get it approved. Yeah, I even.